Alright, everybody, let's go. Here is the Anime Last Stand guide. Now, again, this could be very, you know, not efficient or anything, but to me, and with some information based on what I've collected, hopefully this is a good guide to start off for at least a lot of people. That'll help a lot of people either in the early, mid, or late stage of the game. Now, this video is split into two parts. By that I mean two videos. This is part one. This video will be more lean towards the beginners, people who are starting out, still collecting their units, still doing some story to complete them all, unlocking levels and such, all that jazz. This will lean more towards them and how they should start up, and not and don't make the mistakes that some people do and waste their resources. If you're like a mid to late game player who has like maybe done like all the story, maybe done like a few of the a few or even all the raids, but can't do them solo, or even can just beat them all, in your late game. Like if you're that kind of person, you may not fully need this video because you're past that point, but I still recommend you to maybe watch this if you feel like, oh yeah, maybe that would help. This as like a tip that maybe you may still need. But I'm assuming whoever's left in this video are people who actually want to watch this guide and are beginners, or somewhat beginners, who just need some help. So the first things you gotta do is, I think what every person does with the Roblox game, open your browser. Oh, fudge, piss. You guys saw nothing. First things you gotta do, because we all play anime last time. We all know what this is. We're starting here, and then you go, all right. We played a lot of Roblox games. We just type in on the top, anime last stand codes, and then you just like, oh cool, this link. I'll click this link to find all the codes, and then you get a code, and then you just copy. And then you go back to your Roblox, and then you go to the code section and put them in. I've already claimed it, obviously, because I've done this a lot. And surprisingly enough, a lot of these sites are pretty up to date. Like this one, as an example. This one seems to be pretty up to date. This one does not work anymore, though. Just so you know. So, you just try some of the codes, and if like they don't work, then they just legitimately are expired or don't work. And yeah, that's the first thing you probably could do. It's not a necessary step, obviously, but it helps speed up for you to get off your feet. So you stay in early game as you get past it as soon as possible. The next thing you gotta do, in my recommendation, is to go to the summons banner and look for a unit in your mythic banner, because you won't have the celestial banner on it. You have this, but you can't use this, and this is limited. So this will end in a few days, because this is an event thing. Now I will try to avoid events, because events will be like limited and they don't actually help. But obviously, if you're someone watching this video and this event is still up, aim for a few of these, obviously, but you can't aim for them as a beginner, so I'll skip past that one. First things first, open your mythic banner, and you may not look at, oh, this is cool. Who should I aim for? As a beginner, your units are decently strong. All right, for story, they're all right. What you want to aim for is when you click rates here. You click rates. When you hover, you see some of them says ground, air, or I guess in my case, because I have some units, hybrid, right? Hybrid. You want to aim for at least one unit that has either the air or hybrid tag, because you will need them for story to get to Namek to unlock the celestial banner too. All right. So my suggestion is to get like this Nami here, Zami, or such a legendary that has air. And I've also been told, a recommendation for all your beginners, if you ever see this legendary in the banner, go for it. He seems to be a very good legendary for beginners, for people to use at the start. Now, this isn't exactly, of course, well, yeah, legendaries and commons and such, but Like, you're in a mythic banner, right? So, like, what mythic should you aim for? Tip: this guy is not what you want to aim for. So, out of all the legendaries, all mythics, sorry, that I can recommend you, I'll just slowly equip them, as you can see, hopefully. Do I still have it? I do. Do I still have it? Yep, I do. I have one, so. What other mythics do I have? Nope, alright, I guess there's. Well, this is a bit messy, but as you can see, the ones that I've equipped so far, these are like the three main mythics that I would recommend. Another one would obviously be like these guys. Clean Up Wars are a pretty good one. The Vision Captain is a pretty good one. The Vice Captain, Captain's also pretty good. Speed Cart is the second best money unit in the game. So yeah, he's another good one. Cursed King is another good one. Like any of these mythics that you see me equipped or are mentioning in this video are mythics you are worth to get as a beginner. Specifically the ones that I put down here. These ones down here are much more worth because they are still used, except for him. They are still used in the late game. Him specifically because of Evo requirement. That's a different story. But if you want like an early good mythic, he's a pretty good one to get as well. Because his Evo is pretty strong. At least for beginners. He has kind of died out and been outdated as a unit, but yeah. So those are the units that you should aim for, as a mythics at least, as a beginner, in the summon banners. Now, when I said you unlock the second banner, once you get to them. Because if you go to the story, right, you start off at Desert Village. These will be locked to red, and you'll start from here. I recommend just doing normal. Do normal, beat all 6 acts, go to Water Park, beat all 6 acts, beat Hall Dimension, beat all 6 acts, and then go to Namek. Once you've unlocked Namek, you should unlock the Celestial Banner. Oh, for Destiny Infinity cancel. You should unlock the Celestial Banner. And as you can see here, in the Celestial Banner, you have a chance to get an ultimate. This is just one of them. So in the Celestial Banner, you can get any rare unit, any epic unit, and any legendary unit you can possibly want. But only you can only get the mythics and celestials that are on the banner right now. Now these ones kinda are bad right now. Idol's alright, but overall everything's just pretty bad. So aside from aiming for these mythics that are down here more or less pretty much, you also want to aim for the celestials. Now the main two for a beginner to aim for is to get Green Esper and a Businessman Yoshi. These two are the main two celestials you want to aim for. Plus Tatsu is a great custom animation here. It's so beautiful. But yeah, these two are the main ones you want to aim for. Once you get Tatsu, you can pretty much solo most of the game, especially if you roll a good trade on it. And of course, there's also other ones like Black Swordsman you want to get, because Black Swordsman is really good, but you don't want to get him early, because he's only good once he has been evolved. If he is not evolved, he's not that great. Same as for One Punch Man or Baldy. Baldy Board is also a good unit, but you need his evolution to be any good. Alright? So aim for these two first. And don't aim for any other celestial though. They all kind of suck, except you want for collection reasons. Now speaking of rerolls, if you've been paying attention, you've been seeing these symbols randomly around the place when I'm just scrolling through my units in my inventory. The next thing I want to talk to you all about is the techniques, or as we call them, traits. Now in here, as you can see, I have like 201. You'll get like at least a good maybe good 100 or so from codes, and I will emphasize this greatly. Do not spend them on your legendary. Don't spend them on people like Plague Man. Don't spend them on your Vagata, Puri Prisoner, Lenji. Don't spend them on Luffy, Okay, him again, not really either. Rukia, him maybe probably could. He's pretty good. He's actually really good. You get him for sure. His evil's really nice. Or you don't spend on him. Don't spend on people that are like not worth it. All right, sorry. That may have been a bit long-winded there. That was, huh, all right. But just the point across is, do not spend your rerolls, these technique rerolls, on like oh I'm gonna use them and spin on Lord Alien. Like don't, no, no, that's terrible. If you want to use it on anyone, like this is the time you would want to use it on like a meta unit. Like you can look at the tier list, but as I said in the video, you don't have to. Like you don't have to aim for the meta units yet. You can as like a good foundation, but you don't need to because you're still starting out. You're just a beginner. You're still starting out in the game, collecting materials, stacking up your storage, so you're ready for late game. And one of the ways is to save these techniques until you like really need them to like get through the story. Like you're stuck, and then you need to reroll. Like yeah, go ahead, reroll, but do not reroll on those like on these. Reroll on like Tatsumaki, like on Green Esper. Reroll on like what's his name? I guess Boku is somewhat fine. But on the mythics, like Curse King Suppress, or Cleanup Worker, I guess Vice Captain, as you can see, I've rerolled on him a lot. Division Captain, Explosive Blood's also a pretty good option. Just look, like mythics are probably the better option for you to reroll on. There's still gonna be some there like you probably should not have, but getting good traits on them would help you grind so you can get better units in the future. And now, the next thing I will tell all of you people is just while you're able to, right? Because as you can see right now, is Infinity Castle. This is like an event that goes on for like maybe a few weeks or so. And there's all these like limited events, like this summer event and this Hunters vs Dragon event that's currently going on as I'm making this video. If you can participate in it, participate. Join up. Join other people's portals for summer. Do the quest that you can from dragons. Like I still can't be bothered with this one, but like yeah, you know. So like do these events and help, and then like in this one for instance, if you do enough, you can just claim rewards for free. Like just free rewards, free rewards. Like oh, there we go, see free stuff. And I just got 15 rerolls and 5 perfect stacks. Like beautiful stuff. And there's of course also this normal battle pass you can just grind out while you are killing, because this battle pass needs kills. Like and of course the quests, the daily, story, and permanent quests. Like there are a lot of things you can do as a beginner. You may be absolutely overwhelmed, but just take it slow. Like clear through story first. Get some good units first. Collect your shards from challenges, like this place over here, the challenges zone. Like this is probably gonna be your friendly place, your place you grind on for a while, because you need to collect all those shards, all those common shards, all those rare shards, mythical shards, legendary shards, and epic shards. Like that. This is gonna be the place where you collect those mostly, unless you're grinding with people in portals. Like you're gonna have to be doing this for a while, at least in my opinion. Right? I could be wrong. Some of you may have speed up the process somehow, but that's more or less what a beginner should be worried about. Really, just to summarize it all really quickly, as like a point. I'll type in the chat even too, so you can know. 1. Look at codes. Look at the codes and claim them. Look at the codes and claim them here. At least all the ones that you're able to. If they don't work, then they don't work, alright? 2. You gotta go and look at banner 1 or mythic banner for an air/hybrid. Like you gotta aim for that first, because in the first map, the desert village, there will be airs. There will be flying enemies at Act 4, I think. And you will need something like this to defend against it. Otherwise, you'll never pass. And then number 3, save your rerolls. Yeah, save them. Do not waste them on useless like legendaries. Don't waste them on like units that you don't want on. Like that won't be used later on in the game. Alright, alright. Also save these stat cubes if you somehow have them already. But that will be in front in the next part. Because you won't have them as a beginner. And of course the last step is the step that I would recommend highly, in my opinion, is let me quickly get the window up, obviously. Let me get the window up, let me get the window up. Oh, come on. You're not working now? Oh, come on. Alright. Technical difficulties. Give me a second. Join the Anime Last Stand Discord. Like, join it. Like, this place has a lot of helpful information from just updated info. Like this verse is currently having a 50 reroll code, which you can find online just randomly. Like they have it for some reason. Update logs which never be updated ever again. Starboard, which I don't specifically care about, but like the wiki, the tier list around here, the banners that are currently up, the challenges that are currently up, and the current gold shop. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the gold shop. These things reset every 12 hours, so I mean they're pretty good, but I don't think a beginner would have much use of them. So I didn't mention them. And this is just my chat because I'm a question helper. And of course, the big old questions channel, where you can ask questions around and just, maybe some people who will answer. Most likely it's just some people who are knowledgeable or people who have the blue text, which means that they are a question helper with images or just typing as usual. There's also story, infinite raids, challenges, like just channels that ask for help to join people's private servers or whatever and join up with them to do some challenges together. Like just that is probably the biggest one I could give you lot as a beginner. Just join up, ask around. Obviously, don't do this as your last resort. Come on, don't be lazy now. There's information everywhere, especially this like this video. All right, like there's information everywhere. You can also obviously, if you want to, just look at the spreadsheet in the links. I made that myself with information collected throughout the months I've been collecting info on this game, from other people, other question helpers, head helpers, etc. Like you can check the wiki, you can check the spreadsheet. Like those two are very prominent sources, and of course the questions channel in Discord. Like they are the sources that you probably could at least lean towards mostly. But yeah, that's I think about it for this beginner's guide. You don't have to worry too much about what about like skill trees and what does fuse do? Like you don't have to worry about them as much yet. Like you worry about them later once you actually get into the game and once you reach more towards mid game, because at that point you will be like actually worried, and because then stuff will get actually difficult and you will need like proper stuff to do it. But of course you can always just look these up, ask them around as a beginner if you really want to, and yeah. So hopefully this is a good guide. If it isn't, I'm sorry. I guess hopefully you can find a better guide out there. But this is what I think is alright. And if I feel like this is inadequate at some point in the future and I feel like I can make a better one, I will update and you will see a different video. So yeah, that is it for this part. Part one of the guide that I am gonna make. But this is mainly for beginners or the early game people. So yeah. See ya in the next part if you are somehow already following there. Maybe on other videos that I've made about skill trees, reroll guides, or whatever. Just scroll around on my channel, I guess, if you really want to. And yeah, that's about it. See you around in the next one. Bye bye.